Stan, this is my husband Stan. So everybody, this is Stan. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to wet his face down. He's already washed his face, and he uses the youth enhancing, our youth enhancing system, and the youth cleanser is what he uses on his face to cleanse his face. So what I'm doing now is keeping it wet. After you've washed your face, you want to keep it wet, because then you're going to apply the Luminous serum. And what the Luminous serum does, you only need to do half a pump, because if you keep your, just a second, got a little, if you keep the your face wet, you don't need nearly as much of the serum, so you just do half a pump. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you this amount right there that we're going to use of the serum, and we're going to put it all over his face. And it wasn't as wet and as damp as I would have liked it to have been, like normal, but when you're just doing this at the sink, you can leave your face a lot wetter. So, okay, you can open your eyes now. So what we're going to do, what we've done with that, we put the serum on. The next thing that you will do is use the daily moisturizer. And that just helps to give you a little bit more moisturizer throughout the day. And so we're going to put this on. And I basically try to pat it and not rub a whole lot. You want to just sort of pat your face, because you want to be gentle with your face, because when I was younger, I didn't do that, and my eyes would get really tired with my my contacts and all. I would just rub, and I still do this today. And I just rub and rub, and it just stretches your skin out, and you don't want to do that. So if you're young and you're watching this, don't rub your eyes and don't rub on your face. You want to be gentle with it and just pat your skin, pat your face when you're putting and applying things on. Now, what we're going to do now is use the Instantly Ageless. And here is, if you want to get a sample, you can have a free sample. And like I said, there's a link in my, the previous post before this. There's a link to go and get your free sample. But this, what you want to do when you get it in the mail, or when you order a box of it, you get a box of 50 if you order a box of the Instantly Ageless. And you're going to massage the little sachet in the packet. And then take I use a straight pin. I just have had this from when there was a wedding that we went to. And so I just kept this. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just puncture a little hole in the top part of the sachet, so that there's just a little hole there, and then I'm going to squeeze a little dab, about that much, and I'm going to put this under and around Stan's eyes. Now, the way that I do this, and people do different things. What I do is I take my little finger and I sort of smush it together and down in like this, and sort of mix it around, and then I just pat, and I tap, tap, tap under the eye. And what I'm going to actually say right now is Stan's been using the Luminous serum for about 6 weeks, and I've noticed a real big difference in his eyes, around his eyes and his forehead. They're not nearly as many wrinkles, and his face is not nearly as oily looking. It actually looks healthy and hydrated instead of oily. And that's one thing that you'll notice when you start using the products. If you've got oily skin, you'll start using the products, and you'll notice that your skin doesn't necessarily look oily anymore. It looks hydrated. And that is one thing that I do like about this product. So I put it even a little bit around this eye right here. Remember, no expressions when you put it on, and you want to leave it a little bit damp and let it dry, because what happens is that drying is part of the process, and it will do what it needs to do. Now I'm going to look over here on this side. I don't really need to do anything there. I'm going to put some right here in between his eyes. and let that dry. Remember to be expressionless so that it can dry the way that it needs to. And you want to start out and just put a tiny little bit, because remember, if you put too much, it's going to possibly look white and powdery. And that is one thing that you don't need. You don't need a lot of, and you can always put a little bit more on if you feel like you need a little bit more. And I'm going to also just dab a little bit around here. And just tap, tap, tap. And remember, don't move. Remember to leave it slightly damp so that it can dry on its own, and don't try to pat until it dries, because then you won't be able to do the process correctly. So this is what we're doing and applying that there. Now, I don't have a fan. I should have brought a fan, but I don't have one. So I'm going to just fan to try to speed up the process here. And I mean, used to, I could see the creases in Stan's forehead. And since he's been using the Luminous serum, I don't see that the creases, I don't even see them anymore. And that is one thing that the Luminous serum has done. It has taken that away. So you can see right now, there's not wrinkles. You can see the lines going away here on his face. I probably could add a little bit more right here on this side, and I think I will. And just get that going and dry. Now with the Luminous, with the Instantly Ageless, this will last for 8 to 10 hours. I'd just say 6 to 10 hours, depending on how much you put on and what you've done throughout the day and what the weather is like outside and the humidity and all that. But what you want to do is you want to apply it first thing in the morning, and it lasts pretty much all day. Now, what happened with me one day, I was so tired. I had gone out and done, been just real busy all day long, and there was an event I wanted to go to, but I just did not have time to go home and change and wash my face and do all that I needed to do, because I was in a rush and I was running behind. So instead of washing my face, I just brought out a sachet of Instantly Ageless, put it around my eyes, just added some to it, didn't wash my face, and that made me feel rejuvenated again, and I went on to the meeting, and that's, I felt good, and it looked good. So it really does do a lot when you're in a rush and you can't. So I always keep one of these in my purse now. So what we're going to do now, what I've done is I've folded this over like this and just attached a paper clip to it so that it will stay moist in there. And one of these should last you 2 to 3 times, depending on how much you use it. Now, he's been wanting me to work on his neck. We're putting the Luminous serum on his neck. And we haven't really done a whole lot with the Instantly Ageless on there as of today. But we might eventually work on that, because I know that it will. I use it sometimes on my neck, and it does improve and help that looseness under your neck. So now that we've done this, what I'm going to do, and what you will do at home, when you've taken yours and you've taken it and you've taken the first picture of the before, then you've gone in and you have applied your Instantly Ageless after you've allowed it to dry for the 2 minutes or however long it takes until it does dry, and you see that difference happening and you feel it. You can feel sometimes a little tingle. Well, then you want to take another picture, and that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to take a picture here. Oops, this is the way I did it, so let's. Okay, so can you scoot back just a little bit so I can get right here? So what I'm going to do now is get into my application, or my application that I have called Diptyque. I use Diptyque. And I've got a place in here where I can do a side-by-side. So I'm going to do a side-by-side of both of those pictures. And I'm going to put the before on the left side. And then I'm going to put the after on the right side. And then I'm going to save it. And, whoops, I am going to save the image to my iPad here. And then I'm going to come back to my photos and I'm going to pull it up and I'm going to let you see the difference. This one right here is the before and this one right here is the after. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that right there. So you can, if you look closely and see, you'll notice a difference around his eyes. You'll notice a difference around his mouth, between the eyebrows. So it's very important that you do take the before and after picture. Can I sit here now? Because what you're going to do is you're going to find out that you're going to notice a difference when you take the before and after picture. So I'm going to let you go ahead and go if you want. And I want to talk to you just a little bit about what we have and how you can get some of the products that we do have.
I get to say my word.
Huh?
I get to say my word.
Oh, okay. He has to say something before he goes. Because I promised him that he could.
First, I have to take a closer look. Oh, yeah. Well, if you're over 40, you ought to remember these words. Darling, you look marvelous. Great product.
So that was his little thing that he had to do because of that's what I promised him he could do. So I'm going to take my camera and go over so I can actually. So sorry about that, but I want to be able to sit over here at my computer and really tell you a little bit about what we have to offer. Now there is a special going on until the end of February, and it's our Valentine's special that we're having going on. And what that is, you can get the serum and I didn't bring out my advanced night repair, but you can get the serum and the moisturizer and the night repair for $129, and that saves you about $40. So that is if you're interested in that particular product. Now what I want to tell you a little bit about is, as a preferred customer, if you don't necessarily want to buy, you don't feel like you want to purchase that and pay that much money for a product, even though it does do you well and it is an excellent product, we have a thing called preferred customer, and we have advanced that a little bit. So it used to be that you could only get 3 products and now, or 3 different packages, but now you can get 6. And within those 6 packages you can get 2 boxes of the Instantly Ageless, which is this, and there's 50 sachets in a box. You can get 2 boxes of these for $109. And 1 box alone is about $75. So you're having a savings there. You pay $109 and you get the 2 boxes of Instantly Ageless. Now there's another packet where you can get a box of Instantly Ageless, 1 box, and then a box of the Daily Moisturizer. Now this is the old packaging for the moisturizer because I still had some of it left, but you would get a new bottle that looks similar with this coloring on it. So you can get a box of Instantly Ageless and a moisturizer for $109 as well. If you like the serum and want to go with the serum, which really is an excellent product. It works on a cellular level to rejuvenate the skin cells and keep them healthy and give life back into them. You can get a bottle of that for $99, and that sells for $139. So about $139. So that is a savings there of about $40 as well. So really you're saving about $40 on all of these different packages. And if you're interested in looking at any of that, I have the link attached